Hi, you guys. My name is Emilee. I am uploading our first Budget with Me video ever. So I like to watch these videos on YouTube. They're fun for me to kind of see how other people are using YNAB and some of the methods that they're using too. Some people are paying down a lot of debt, some people are saving a lot of money and building wealth. So I just thought I would add my voice to the crowd and um, maybe scratch the itch for some of you guys who don't get to budget as often as you would like. That's really what I use it for. So I'll go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to first go through our expenses for the month of August, and then we got paid this weekend, so I will allocate some of our paycheck into the month of September with you guys. Um, so let's see. A little bit of background. We started out the year of 2020 with about $130,000 in debt. We are currently sitting at about 102,000. So obviously we've made some really good progress with that, but we are still trying to tackle that debt as fast as we can. The next debt that we plan on focusing on is this smaller of the two credit card balances. This one has a interest rate. I don't remember exactly what the interest rate is, but the minimum payment on it right now just barely covers the interest. So we definitely don't want to be spinning our wheels on this and just making minimums because it would not get us anywhere. And then my credit card is on an introductory phase still where it has a 0% interest rate until August of 2021. Our tracking accounts contain medical bills and student loans that we have remaining. We owe about 4,000 for in medical bills for the birth of my daughter Remy, who is 2, and 6,000 in medical bills for the birth of my son Wesley, who is 1. And then my husband has about $30,000 in student loan debt, and I have about 55,000 in student loan debt. So that is kind of our debt payoff plan. We want to pay off the credit cards and then the medical bills and then focus on the student loan debt. But we recently found out that we're expecting our third baby, and I'm due the end of February. So we will be pausing just briefly on debt payment to save up some baby expense funds, baby plan funds. So I will talk about that when we get there. Um, in the month of August, we paid a minimum payment on my credit card, which was $35. We also paid a minimum on my husband's credit card. And this looks a little weird because we had cashed in some reward points directly on the balance of his credit card. We are definitely not continuing to add debt as we are paying these down. This was a mistake. We paid this through PayPal and I didn't realize that it was attached to my credit card. And so, yeah, definitely not trying to add more debt, but that did happen for this month. So you can see kind of how everything balanced out. Our payment was 59, interest was 57. Our rent each month is 1378. Trent's term life insurance is 28 a month. My term life is 16 a month. Those are both for about $400,000 on a 20-year term. We bought those 5 years ago when we first got married. I am 28 years old, Trent is 27, and so we were able to get pretty low pricing per month on that term life because we were both really young when we purchased those. Our hope is to be self-insured by the time these terms are up, meaning that we have built enough wealth that we don't need to depend on life insurance to survive in the event of one of us passing away. So our phone bill per month is $110. I did have to purchase additional data for work this month because we ran out of our home Wi-Fi data, and I was having to hotspot in order to have access to the internet. Remy and Wesley's 529s, these are education savings accounts in the event that they want to go to college. They will have hopefully some good savings to pay for that and will not have to start off their life with student loan debt. Um, Remy, I think, has about $1,000 in this account. Wesley has about 600. Anytime they get birthday money or holiday money from family, we have been putting it in these accounts because they are so young. They don't know how to manage their money yet, so we just put that money in a savings account. A little info I wanted to throw in. You guys will see that a lot of our true expenses and sinking funds are just barely starting off. The reason for that is we were aggressively paying off our debt with the snowball method using the Dave Ramsey program. And because of that, we did not have any money set aside in the event of an emergency aside from our $1,000 emergency fund that is part of his program. So we are transitioning away from that and more into the YNAB method of wanting to budget a month ahead and really fund these true expenses so that we are not kind of, in a bad place in the event of an emergency, especially in the age of COVID where like job loss is a real thing, even for people who thought their jobs were secure. So, um, we are just kind of starting to build those savings, and you guys will be able to see that happen with us. The last of our monthly bills are our electricity utility. This is pretty normal. We moved in mid-May, so we've been here for about 3 months, and 160 a month is usually about what we're paying. It's a pretty mild summer, so I'm not sure what will happen here going into winter and the colder months. Internet, 182 is the base cost. We did have to use extra internet this month, and any overages through this company are extremely expensive. So I fully expect next month's internet to be close to $300. But again, the place that we've chosen to live, this is the only internet provider available to us. So we kind of just have to live with what we've got. Storage units, 35 a month. I actually PayPal this to my dad each month. They have allowed us to use their storage unit down in the state of Washington for some of the stuff that we didn't bring up to Alaska with us when we moved up here. So I just send them 35 bucks a month. Car insurance, 57 a month, and heating fuel. I budgeted 150 here. We didn't end up using any heating fuel for this month, so I just reallocated those dollars. And then we talked about my term life insurance. Groceries. We spent 2,000 on groceries this month. In the lower 48, this number would look like probably $1,000. So it's because we live in such a high cost of living area, we're off the federal road system. Anything that we want from the grocery store had to have been barged or flown up. So due to that extra shipping cost, there is an extra sale cost. So we do a lot of our purchasing off of Amazon, which really helps reduce the cost of items. Actually, I have a perfect example. I purchased on the 26th some windshield wipers for our car because I could see that they were getting worn out and were needing replaced. And on the 29th, which was yesterday, the rubber blade came completely off of our windshield wiper while we were driving, and it was pouring rain. So we drove over to the auto parts store and purchased the exact same size and brand of windshield wiper that I had just bought on Amazon, and they were $46 compared to the $19 that I paid on Amazon. Anything to ship out here takes 2 to 3 weeks, so we probably still won't see these wipers for another 2 to 3 weeks, but we will have backup in the event of needing an emergency windshield wiper should that happen again. But I do plan on getting these on a subscribe and save so that, or I guess I do have them on a subscribe and save so that they're shipping out to us every 6 months and we can just keep up on it and not have that situation come up again where we have to literally pay double of what they should cost us. Um, so, anyways, yes, 2,000, that's really high. Realistically, we like to keep this category around 12 to 1,500 a month, so about 300 a week for fresh produce and, restocking our pantry, stuff like that. You can see the month of July, we were able to keep it pretty low. We planned a lot of our meals out of our pantry staples that we had, and so we used up some of our pantry goods, and that was good in keeping that cost low, but now we are replenishing a lot of that or have replenished. So the August budget was pretty high. Work lunches, I spend about $10 a day at work buying lunch from the cafeteria. Health, this includes my prenatal vitamins, any prescriptions, any vitamins, Neosporin, so any health related band aids, we bought some face masks out of here, Tylenol, soap, medicine. Hygiene and beauty, this includes makeup and hygiene items, haircuts. Cleaning and home supplies, this category has been the biggest budget buster the last several months because we just moved into our rental. We were trying to bring it to a place that's comfortable for us, so furnishing the house and, purchasing some decor items. And it's hard because even though it was a more expensive area of our budget for the last several months, it brought us a lot of comfort. And so it's definitely not that we regret spending that money in any way because it was money well spent. But it is hard to not see those dollars going on debt when that's our focus. Fuel and maintenance, this is just gas for our cars and any maintenance items that we might need to purchase. We spend about $200 a month out of this category, so my plan is to fund it at $300 a month for the next several months in the hope that we're able to build a buffer. And if we should need tire replacement or something mechanically done to the car, maintenance wise or emergency wise, that we would be able to cover it out of this category. So the plan is to kind of keep that around 500. Childcare, this includes diapers, wipes, and babysitting, anything related to um, the goods that we need for our kids. You can see this drop significantly in July. The reason for that is that my son turned 1 and we were able to take him off of his formula, which was a huge expense each month. So, clothing, this was super high in July because my 1-year-old is growing like crazy and we needed to move him up into the next size of clothing. And then pet care, we have a little dog. Her name is Bailey, and she is very inexpensive. We buy her like chewies and toys and stuff like that sporadically, but she really has everything she needs and she doesn't eat a lot of food, so that doesn't cost too much to take care of her. Software subscriptions, we do Spotify, $14.99 a month. It's the family plan. Microsoft Office, that gives me access to Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint that I might need for work. iTunes, we subscribe to extra storage on the iCloud so that we can back up all of the pictures from our phones. Amazon Prime just renewed in July, so we won't see this again until July of 2021. And then miscellaneous software. Our YNAB renewed in May of 2020, so we won't see that one again until May of 2021. So, and then any extra like app purchases that we want to make. We live in a town that doesn't have access to any kind of movie theater or bowling alley. There's no roller skating rink, anything like that that we might generally go do. And so we do Pokemon Go is kind of our like fun entertainment thing. And so we do spend money on Pokemon Go Fest. They just did an event where um, you were able to go catch Pokemon on your phone. And so that was a lot of fun. We actually have a group of people here in town that we go do that with. So it does make it a lot of fun to be able to do that and, kind of spend the money in that way. Random acts of kindness. I actually just added this category. I had been spending out of it, but I had been putting these purchases in our child care fund only because the items that I was purchasing align with that category. But I decided to give it its own category. Basically, how do I explain this? So on Facebook, the groups that I'm in tend to be more finance related. And so when I'm like reading through people's stories, their posts, things that they're kind of updating random strangers on. Um, if there's a situation where somebody's story really moves me, and it tends to be young moms for me, I like to reach out to people and basically just say like, hey, there's no obligation, like, but if you're comfortable with me sending you formula or diapers or baby clothes, something along those lines that they specifically mentioned in their post, it brings me a lot of joy to be able to reach out to them and just say, like, your story moved my heart, and I would love to be able to help you. So, um, and then gifts. Oh my gosh. So we have so many birthdays and events in the month of August. My birthday was in August. My husband's the first part of September, so his birthday expenses are actually in this category as well. But aside from that, we have brother-in-law, niece, nephew, other brother-in-law, lots of birthdays. Um, the average probably in this category is 50 to 100 max, um, except for this time of year. Besides Christmas, this is definitely the most expensive time of year for us as far as gifts go. If you guys couldn't tell, I'm a gift giver. That's like my love language. So these categories are really important to me to, I guess, just be able to give freely from, even in the midst of wanting to focus on our own personal finances. And honestly, if I felt like it was becoming out of control or like it was really hindering our financial peace, I would rein it in. But I am very happy with our spending in these areas and knowing that like we're still covering all of our essentials and we're still making good progress. Trent's spending money. He gets $40 a week. He transfers it onto his Cash App card, which is basically a debit card. It has its own account, and he's able to spend that money freely on whatever he chooses. He is not a big spender, so I'm pretty sure he has all of this money still sitting in that account. And then I don't ever budget spending money for myself. I tend to work whatever plans I come up with into our budget. So a lot of the home decor and stuff was really my spending money, but I just worked it into the budget since I'm the one who manages the budget. I might stop doing that just so I can get a true sense of like what I'm actually spending on, but that's kind of the way that it sits right now. And then dining out. I hate this category so much. Um, we always spend way more on this than I would hope. Um, it looks like I need to be budgeting like 350 a month in here. I tend to do maybe like 60 a week, but obviously that's not working out well for us. I really hate this. I hate that we eat out as much as we do. I really need to sit and figure out why we're doing this. Um, in the town that we're in, there's really only two places that we can eat out at, and both of them are extremely expensive. So, medical debts. I paid a couple of Remy's medical bills off in August. Hidden categories. We paid off our car this month, so that $319 is our usual monthly car payment that we don't have anymore. So that's our hidden stuff. Okay, that's the month of August. I reconciled everything before jumping on with you guys, so all I have to do is enter these paychecks. So my husband got paid from his regular job, and my husband and I both got a bunch of birthday cash. Our birthdays, mine was August 21st, and my husband's is going to be September 6th. So both of us received a ton of cash. So we're just putting that into our budget to budget with. So August is fully funded. So I'm going to jump into September, and we will be getting paid again on the 4th of September, which is just 7 days away. Actually, less than 5 days away. And my husband has his side gig. He was covering extra hours. So his side gig, he tends to make $300 to $400 a week, and that usually pays him on Mondays. But he hasn't been paid in several weeks because he was covering for the main guy at the side gig while he was out hunting. So he's got a big $2,600 pay check coming, I think on the 1st of September. That is not part of our regular income. So that will really boost the September funding. When we get that payment, I'll just jump on and budget it with you guys. But aside from that extra money, I'll get paid again on September 4th. The only thing I need to cover before I get paid again is this rent. Now that we have rent funded, I'll just walk you guys through. So this upcoming week, I'm putting $50 into my work lunches. I tend to spend about $10 a day, so that will cover me. These are those Amazon subscribe and save. I keep all of like our batteries, our laundry soaps, garbage bags, light bulbs, paper products, all of this stuff on subscribe and save and stocked up so that we don't end up having to go to the grocery store and purchase any of these at double the cost of what we can get them from Amazon for. So that's what these categories really cover for us, is those subscribe and save amounts. So they vary month to month, but at the start of the month, I know exactly what they'll be for the month. So I'll go ahead and cover those two. Fuel, I'll go ahead and add 150 there, and then I'll cover the other 150 with our next paycheck. Cleaning and home supply is just such a huge amount, so I want to kind of spread out the money. I can totally fund that one. Pet care, we'll budget for the upcoming so that we have some money sitting in there. This software I can fully fund all of. Christmas and technology replacement. Don't ever want to have to emergency replace a phone again. That was not fun. So baby plans, part of living where we do, when I go to deliver my baby, we have to be in Anchorage. If I'm not in Anchorage when I go into labor, then they'll life flight me to Anchorage. So about 3 weeks before my due date, we're going to be renting an Airbnb, and we'll have to pay for our flights and cover kind of some of those weird expenses that come with living in rural Alaska for this baby. So that is the plan, but I will fund those as I get to the end of the month and have extra money. I'm probably going to put about $60 dining out for the eventual dining out that we do. Unexpected expenses is where I have my emergency funds, and I'm going to go ahead and cover those now. Just build those up over time. Okay, 235 left, so we're going to come back up here and revisit some of these bills. Oops. And I'll go ahead and put the rest of this money into my cleaning and home supplies. And then when we get paid again, we'll continue funding September. I believe I should have October fully funded before September ends with some of the extra income that we have coming and just our regular income as well. So I think that's it for this video, you guys. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, go ahead and subscribe, and hopefully I will be seeing more of you guys. I plan on uploading once a week when we get paid, so definitely watch out for that, and thank you for watching. Bye.